Hey tubers, he's back. It's Christmas. Nah, it's over now, isn't it? Well, it's been and gone. New Year's ahead of us, and it's going to be a 2025 with Donald Trump. Yes, just when we thought it couldn't get worse. But anyhow, less politics, more bollocks. Right, pickups. What we got? A usual mix. But before I get into pickups, I just wanted to say thank you to some of the lads I met up. We had thanks to our social secretary, Ed, Retro Ed. He got a lot of people together to go on a mini game shop crawl. We went to Retro Hunter Alley store in Leigh-on-Sea, followed by Miso Games run by Luke. That's the first time I've been to Miso Games, so I was a Miso virgin, and I've popped my cherry there. Didn't spend too much. It was a bit of a disappointment in that way, but then again, when you pop your cherry, I guess it usually is, isn't it? But anyway, back to the pickups. But first of all, I almost forgot to say thanks to the lads. Who did we see? Well, they all done their videos and everything else, so I think you all probably know by now. But there was Ed, Retro Ed, there was Clint, Retro Rewind, there was Lee, Retro Chef, Comics and Games, Nicky, Big Nicky, he was there. There was Tony Whizbits, I think is the channel's name, and there's Ryan, who does well, I don't think it's like a YouTube channel, but he collects a lot of graded WWF figures and stuff like that, so he's a serious collector of those. But did I miss anyone else out? We've got Clint, and of course Roger Hulkster. Thank Christ I didn't forget him. He would have beaten me up. He's all muscle. But anyway, it was nice to see the guys and well as the store holders. I mean store holders, shop owners. It was good, and it had a lot of fun. We did. And it's the first time I met up with the guys on YouTube. So again, I was a bit of a newbie, I suppose, in that respect. But it was lovely to meet up with the guys, and we had a good fun. So that was jolly good, to say the least. And I look forward to the next one. Although I think I'm probably skint now for the next few months, given the fact that Christmas has been and gone, and we've got to pay for holidays and stuff like that ahead. So hey ho, but I still got a mountain of shit to show you guys anyway, all the same, so don't worry about that front. On the vinyl side, vinyl of the month, this is the last album by the group I wanted. I'm a big fan of a British band called Noah and the Whale. Their biggest hit would be Life Goes On, but that's not actually on this album. This is, I think this is like a, it's an old album, I think, but it's one I did not have, so I've got the whole set of all the albums now, so that's really good. But the lead singer Charlie, what's his name? I can't remember. But anyway, he's got a bit of Americanized type voice, so when you hear him sing, you think he's American, but he's not. But it's a really good sound, Noah the Well, so pleased to have that. Other things we got retro inspired. Got myself a book. Yes, I can read. It's the Guinness World Records Gamers Edition 2025. Over the years I've collected all of these, although I think for the past couple of years there's not been any until recently, and then I saw this for $5 on Amazon, so I said yep, I'll pick that up, go in the collection. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I will do. A few weeks back, I almost forgot about it, but I managed to get an order in with curries for the PlayStation 30th anniversary celebration controller. I've got it clean filled to protect the case, but I'm not going to take the controller out. But you can see a big scratch on the box there, because Curry's being knobbins don't like to send their stuff in boxes. They just send their stuff as it is with a plastic bag over it. That's clever, isn't it? So if you want to collect any limited editions and everything else, Curry's is probably not a best place to go to because they don't give a fuck about what condition the stuff gets to you in. I would have taken it back, but this was the last one, literally online as well. I could get, and so and you can't, you know, you can't get them on eBay without paying stupid prices for them. So I'm not going to just have to keep it as it is, really. Why did I go to Curry's and not elsewhere? Well, a lot of places sold out, of course. Curry's was a few last places that still had it in, and I was able to get on the, you know, 6 months free credit on that anyway. So that's one little bonus. Over Christmas, what did the boy get? Well, my wife got me a teddy. And before you say it, aren't I a bit old for teddies? Says a guy who got loads of shit and toys and games behind me. It's a teddy I actually wanted because being a Doctor Who nut, Build-A-Bear released some Doctor Who soft toys. They got David Tennant and that latest Doctor, but I mean, David Tennant's okay, but this is a Doctor I wanted in the brown proper Doctor Who license on his foot, a special brown bear for Tom Baker. Yes, with a sonic screwdriver and gear. So yeah, my wife got me out for Christmas. I just love that. They do a little mini K9 and a mini Dalek too, which are about 10 each, which I will pick up when I get paid next month. Before they disappear. They're online exclusives. They also got a Stranger Things Demogorgon, which I'm going to keep an eye out for when it gets reduced and hope they get. Definitely want that. Although they all go on my bed. A lot of these soft toys do, so it's getting where I can store them anyway. Why do I sleep on the floor? No, not. Ooh. Anyway, enough of that story. Right, what did I get when I was on the little game run with the boys? Well, unfortunately, I didn't see many games I actually wanted. I saw one Atari 2600 game, and that was it's a common one, and it wasn't silly prices, and it was in very good condition. It's a white label tennis for 2600. They did have the green label one, but it was battered to shit, and the actual the cart itself, the board was chewed to fuck. So I didn't fancy taking a chance on that. Well, it probably would have worked because normally 2600 games are pretty indestructible. But I thought I'll get the cleaner condition one. That would do me. Because tennis was one of the games we had as a kid. So it's a nostalgia there. And Clint actually picked up the paddles for that game, tennis and Breakout. I don't have a paddles. I must get those another time really. But talking of controllers, I'm hoping this will work on a 2600. Done a bit of research, even though it's for older PCs. They said it should work with Atari. It's the one button Speed Keen Conix controller from 1986. Listen to that sound, guys. Isn't that music to years? Clicky joysticks. Yeah, I hope it does work. Because the Atari 2600 controller joystick, it's pretty shit, let's be honest guys, it is pretty shit, and we've broken so many of those ourselves in the past where we're playing Pac-Man and stuff. But this one, if they actually played, if this works on a 2600, playing games like that, that would be a dream. And that was only a £5, which is not bad, because I think they go for about 30 quid on eBay. What's that, just a 2-button one? Maybe just a 2-button one, but still, it's, a £5 is worth a punt, worth a gamble with. What else did I get? Okay, something I treated myself to, something I've been having my eye on for a while. Got it used because it's in that open, hardly paid worth condition. And I got it for 30 quid with delivery, which ain't bad. Because this game easily can go for 60 quid now. And it is Talisman, but not the Talisman as you and I know it. It is a Star Wars variation. So I've got it all sealed, clean filmed. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to get any of my family to play this with me. Which is a shame, because Talisman is one of my favourite board games of the day, fantasy board games. It is so cool. I do have a second, I think a 3rd edition set upstairs. Which is which I can use for actually playing with or anything else. But this is a Star Wars themed, and being a Star Wars nut, I had to go for it. It comes with lots of sort of busts of the main characters. Not that kind of bust, boys. The other kind. Well, anyway, so it comes with that. What else have I got? Well, I think that's all the random shit. I think it's just games now. Yeah, just games now. I've got a little bit of retro. So Stu, you can hold on for a minute before you before you go off, because I know you hate new games. But you're missing out. But I can understand why you hate new games, because at the end of the day, you got to focus, and you got, you know, and when you've got so many complete sets, it's better to focus on the older sets and focus on and not get distracted on newer games. Even though some of those newer games are bloody good and lots of fun, but you know, at the end of the day, you got to focus. Otherwise, where do you stop? Where do you stop? So, one PS1 game. This was recommended by James Retro Importer, and he got the Japanese version of it. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called, but it's Japanese one. But in PAL territories, it's called Ballistic. And it's a relatively simple type puzzle game. And you may think, well, what's so special about that? It's actually quite fun. It's quite a good, fun, simple one. I got the value series because I don't mind the value series. I know Roger insists on hate these because it has to be all black label, but on the end, they're still black labels, and so as far as I'm concerned, they look great on the shelf. And you know, if they're a few quid cheaper, so be it. I don't mind. So yeah, I got that. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was about 8 quid delivered. It wasn't a huge amount. Okay, Sega Saturn game. Oh, I had to get this. This is one of those sort of games that I've got a lot of memes because of the golfer. What's it called? GameSack often has done a few good fun piss take videos on this game, Pebble Beach Golf Links. Especially of a golfer when he does his catchphrases or whatever else for, you know, for moves and so forth. And for the life of me, I can't remember what he actually says, but something like "great putt" or whatever along those lines. Again, it's not an expensive game. There's loads of these on eBay, but most of them are chewed up. But I managed to get one that wasn't. I think I was about £15, between £15 and £20 mark, which for one in good condition is not bad really. Okay, Switch. So yeah, I know you do get a few Switch games or two, so you may stay for us a little bit longer. First of all, Sonic Origins Plus. Got that on Amazon, quite cheap. I've opened it up so I can download the games, because there are some games that are like the Game Gear games you have to download only. So with Sonic Origins Plus games, don't get used copy, guys. You've got to get new copies in order to download those Game Gear games. So get it while you can, cheap, new. And talk of Talisman, there is a new digital version of the game. This is actually a second copy I got. The first copy came all broken, the case was broken, and it comes with collector's cards and all sorts inside. But it is on the cart, so there's Talisman there, so that's really cool. I did have an iOS version of this years ago, but it's great to get it now on the Switch, and I'm looking to get this on the PS4 as well, just so I've got it on both systems, because I tend to double dip with certain games. My preference is PlayStation, then it's Switch, and if it's really a cool game like Talisman or other IP which I collect for a lot, which tends to be Turtles, and also an unusual IP which is King Kong games. I got here Skull Island Rise of Kong. A lot of people say this is absolutely shit, and they're probably right. I'm never going to open it, and if I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it on the PS4. But again, I'm a big King Kong, you know, monster fan really. Peter Jackson, King Kong, I just got so hooked onto it, and I've got tons of memorabilia to it around the house, but also in the loft and stuff. So a bit of a King Kong nut really. That's one of my other main collections, as well as games and Doctor Who and Star Wars and King Kong bits. That's what I tend to focus on collecting. Focus as much as I can do, or focus as much as the blind man does, I suppose. That's my focus, I'm afraid. But anyway, I digress a little bit. What else did I get? Okay, Turtle games. These are cheap. I've got these £20 and under. So we've got Wrath of the Mutants and Mutants Unleashed. And I have double dipped, and I have got these on the PS4 somewhere as well in this pile. But before I do that, one last retro game, Stu. So then you can go, mate. I let you go. We have Mamoru-kun wa Norete Shimata. And people may say, what the fuck? Yeah, it is a Japanese shooter. A really good bullet hell. It's also available on the Xbox 360 in Japan. And I do have that on the Xbox 360. But this is one of the uncommon, really cool Japanese exclusive shooters for PS3. And, you know, it plays on all systems because PS3 is region 3. So, it was not a cheap game. Normally this goes for about 150, but I bided my time and I managed to get a complete copy for 130. And when it came, it was sealed. So I'm definitely only going to play it on my Xbox 360 version, but I'm not opening that bad boy up. Yeah, so that's not bad for the collection. I know Eddie Royalcore has been wanting to get a copy of this game for a while, and he's probably got it on his wish list too. And it's just that one of those games that never significantly come down in price. It's just one of those ones that you guys want to you know watch out for when you see it. Okay, you can go now, Stu. See you later. See you in the next vid, mate. But for the rest of us, we've got now PS4 and a few PS5. So let's get the 3 PS5 games out of the way. Betty Ford, Bill, he showed this. It's from an online-only game called Concord that literally got taken down within days of being available. And so the shops withdrew this because the service does not work anymore. It is a, you know, the disc is a placemat. It is unplayable. Is it going to be rare? Probably not, because there's probably a lot of these are still out there. So, you know, the collectors are getting them up, collecting them. I got this for £15 off eBay. Did I overpay? Maybe. I know some are going for more than that. But it's one of those rare PS5 games that I thought, I don't know, a bit of FOMO, jump on the bandwagon for that one to go in the collection really, because it's going to be a, you know, the one you see often. Another one which I don't see that often is Street Fighter 6 with the sort of 3D lentricular. Is it lentricular or ventricular? I always get it mixed up. It's one of those 3D sleeves anyway. So I've been wanting that, and that was about £25 in CX. Got the full sleeve. Right, this is another game. It's one of the Perp games on the PS5. And if it's done by Perp Games, I always say, if in doubt, pick it up. Because Perp Games do not release games in huge numbers. And they are more interesting games. And so they are more likely to be collectible. On older systems, if it's a horror game, I tend to go for it. The trouble is, with PS4 and PS5, there's so many horror games out there. It is a big rabbit hole, and so I tend to just focus on the horror games that I find. Yeah, I will actually play that when I get time, and it looks more interesting. So I'm supposed to get all horror. I'm just focusing on ones that are more interesting for those systems, because there are literally a shit ton of PS4 or PS5 horror games. Even, you know, and a lot of them are also being released on the PS5 too. I mean, on the Switch too. So yeah, so it's not like it's an easy subset to get. It's not. And so the game I got is a game called Revenant Rooms. It's a side view. A survival game where you run along, have a fight, and it's a bit stealthy. You haven't got much life. You've got to collect pickups and weapons, avoid some of the big bad bosses where you can, and fight them when you've got a few weapons and stamina and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit of a strategy game as well, I would say, probably. But the art style, it's really, really cool. It's a bit like Alice in Wonderland stroke Clock Tower look. I say modern Clock Tower look. If Clock Tower was a PS5 game, this is what it would look like, as opposed to the old, 16-bit look. Okay, a Capcom game. Got this cheap under a tenner. I did pick up on the PS5 when I saw it in CX, but I wanted it on the PS4 because that's my preference of the two systems. Exo Primo. Again, I think this is probably a network connection required. Yeah, it's an online game, but it's Capcom, so I purely got that because it's Capcom. And I tend to be a sucker for anything Capcom. I have to get it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, again, that was relatively quite cheap. I think that's about a 10. I did not have it. I've got to get back into Call of Duty games, Modern Warfare games. I've just not had time really. I think the last one I started was Ghosts, and that's how many years is that ago? Long time ago. I've got to get back into it because I did enjoy them. I'm not an online multiplayer. I tend to just do the stories, and that's it really. And I know there's one or two Call of Duty games that there is no story, but still, I collect them like many people do. Another Sonic game, Sonic Superstars. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Again, a lot of these I can't remember what I paid for them. But, I tend to pick all these games when I see them cheap. Risen. I think this is a remake of the first game, which was it on the 360? I think it was. And I think the Risen 2 is also come out on PS4 at some point, or PS5. Okay, another really good, interesting game. It's like a tank battle game. Sandland. Again, I waited for this to come down in price to the £20 mark, and I sort of, that's when I took it. I got this reduced for about 11 quid, which, considering you get V-Bucks and a few outfits and stuff, it's not bad because my daughter plays Fortnite. But I wanted it because it's Transformers. It's a code in the box, and so it's one of those games. Even though it's not a game, it's just a code in the box for some DLC. It's something you're not going to see second hand in the future because people just bin them because it's a code in the box. So it's kind of collectible in that sense, if you like Transformers. I also got the Joker one as well, a year or two back. But yeah, for the same reason. I had these on the Switch, so I've got to show these as well on the PS4. Got these again cheap, double dipped. So I've got all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games now. This one came the other day. Again, it was reduced to I think it was about £18 mark. It's called Slayercation Paradise. It's like a top-down run and gun shooting type game. It is, and basically you're a holiday maker and you go around set in the 50s or very retro, bit like what's that other game with zombie? Oh god, it's kicking me now. You know that was it something named something Zombie? What's his name? Rob Zombie. I don't know. It's not Rob Zombie. That's the director. But you know who I mean. Oh god, I can picture it. But it's that sort of era. But instead of playing as a zombie, you play as a holiday makers who go around shooting tons of zombies, monsters, UFOs, aliens, and all sorts. It's supposed to be. Some people criticise it for being too easy. In my book, that's a plus because I'm shit at games, so it being easy is yeah. This one again, I wanted to get while it was reasonable price. It's a Metal Gear Solid collection. I wasn't too sure if some of the thing will be only available as download codes, but it's not. It's all on disc, guys. It's got PS5 upgrade on it, although for whatever reason, on UK machines to get that PS5 upgrade, I don't know how you do it. I've looked online. A lot of people are struggling to upgrade it to PS5 versions of the games. So we stuck with playing the PS4 and the PS5 games. But to be honest, there's probably no graphical difference whatsoever. So, yeah. So I think that was a bit of a weird one by Konami, that one, why it doesn't work. But still, get that second hand if you see it, guys. Don't worry about it, because it will work. Okay, I played all the One Piece games, and I've got to watch the TV series on Netflix. I have to rewatch that at some point. One Piece Odyssey, quite a bit of an uncommon game. Saw it at CEX, it was about a £20 mark, so I thought, yes, I'll get that. Alright, these next two games, they had been quite pricey. They were £30 to £40 each. And I thought the ones that are going to stay high, they're sort of point and click, sort of LucasArts inspired, but it's an own IP in its own right, and it's part of the Leisure Suit Larry series. So we got Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Cry, and Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Dry Twice. So these are very, point and clicky, old school inspired games. I think they both worked out for about £20 each in the end, which is a good price for those games, because they are ones that are going to be quite collectible on the PS4. I still think there will be in the long term. Okay, I got this because it was cheap. It was a Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition. I still need to get this on the Xbox One, the Gold Edition, but it's still about 40 quid mark, so I'm not paying that for it. I just want to get it because I collect all the Gold Editions, and I'm multi-dip when it's Capcom and Resident Evil. Alright, this game I got off Amazon, the EU site, and it's an American copy of Pac-Man Museum. So it's got a hell of a lot of retro Pac-Man games on. It hasn't got Miss Pac-Man, funny enough, but it's got all the other ones. So yeah, you can't get this as a PAL copy, but still it works all the same. And it was quite cheap. I think it's about £18 mark. And then we got Star Trek Resurgence. Again, I thought this was reduced to cheap. I think it was under 15 quid. I tend to like collect all the Star Trek games on. And last but not least, another interesting game which I got cheap. I think it was literally under a tenner. It's sort of artworks inspired by I would say Dark Souls, and it's called Mortal Shell. So will I get around to playing it? Probably not. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind playing it. It does look good though. So, but it'll probably be overlooked by other games anyway. But hey ho, the way we collect, eh? So that's it, Sky. That's all my pickup. So hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all done well over Crimbo too, and I hope you're all in good health. And that's it for 2024. I'll see you next year, and until then, take care and bye.